Hello there guys, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now today we're going to be taking a look at an operating system called ReactOS, and this is a very interesting operating system specifically because of the fact that this has been built from the ground up to be binary compatible with Windows NT based operating systems. Now, if you have not, when you go to the download page here, you'll see that we have two separate options, a boot CD and a live CD. So let's just power this VM on here, and we're going to jump right into the installation process. And you will notice that it looks very similar, or you will notice throughout the actual install that it is very similar to a Windows NT based installer, but this is not in any way based off of Windows NT. This is its own separate thing, but I have to say it does a very good job at mimicking Windows, as you will probably agree with me later on in the video. Once you kind of go through this process here with me. So at this screen, we're just going to select our language, which is English US. And we're going to press enter to install ReactOS. And something that I should mention is that this is, obviously since we are in alpha, the actual setup is very, limited to what it can actually do. One of those things is it cannot create NTFS partition types. It can only create FAT file system partitions, which may be, a kind of a deal breaker for some of you guys who are using this on, older hardware. I personally would not want like a, modern PC, that has, because, FAT, file systems, you cannot use, like, there's a, maximum disk size. I'm not 100% sure of what it is. So if you have like a 500 gig drive, you're probably not going to be able to use all 500 gigs of that space on a FAT file system. It doesn't specify if it's FAT or FAT32, so I'm assuming that it's FAT16 because it doesn't specify. And file system checks are not implemented yet. So yeah, you have to take that into account. But again, this is alpha, so you can't really blame them, because this is still a huge thing for what it is. We're just going to accept these defaults. We're going to install it to the unpartitioned space. We're going to format as on a FAT file system with quick format because we are in a VM. We're going to press enter to confirm. You see it's very fast. Right here we can choose the directory that we want to install it to. I'm just going to leave it as default, which is ReactOS. You could change this to be Windows if you want it to be that much more like Windows, because this is basically going to be C:/Windows or C:/ReactOS, as it does follow the same Windows style file structure. So we're going to press enter, and it's going to copy the files over. You'll see this does this so far. You will probably agree with me. It looks very similar to a Windows 2000 or Windows XP style setup. It has this blue screen style thing here. We're going to install the bootloader on the hard disk, and now we have to take out the CD-ROM from the drive. So I'm going to do that right now. We're just going to swap to the physical drive because there's nothing in there. And we're going to press enter to restart. And this is one of the things that you have to do every time that it boots up. It will time out after like 8 seconds. But it does give you kind of a list of all of the different options. Or like all of the different configurations. You may have seen while that it was starting up that it was loading NTOS kernel, which is a Microsoft Windows process. So they have done a very good job at mimicking that as well. So, and this right here is sort of the final setup process. This is kind of the part where Windows XP would kind of be asking you for all of your information. However, there's not that thing going on in the background, because it's all the files have been copied over already. So we're just gonna click on next. You'll see that this is it basically says that they would like to acknowledge all of the open source projects that they've used in this. You'll see the first one is Wine, and I'm guessing that Wine is one of the core components. I may be wrong on that, but these are all of the open source projects that they have used, which is nice. And obviously, ReactOS itself, because it has used open source software, it is open source, and it is free to modify and change. So if you wanted to change this and make it into your own operating system, you could do that. But it is nice because this is basically a free a mock version of Microsoft Windows, which is a very cool thing when you think about it. We're just going, I think these are both set to English and US, so we're just going to click next. We're going to do my name here, we'll click next. We're going to call this React VM, do next. We'll leave it in the Pacific time zone because that's all right. And it's going to register some components, and it is finished, so we just need to click on finish and it's going to restart. And here we go. We are booted into ReactOS, and you'll notice that the first thing that popped up is the new hardware wizard, where it's asking us to install some new drivers, and this looks very similar to the Windows XP thing. I'm going to try not to say that, because the whole OS is going to look very similar to Windows because it's supposed to be that way. So I'm going to try to stop saying that. This is going to fail. I believe we need to install VMware tools, which you can actually do, which is nice. I'm going to show you how to do that here, which is just like, very simple. So you'll see that, right off the bat, it does look very Windows-like. And I know that I said I was going to stop saying that, but I do want to, point out that, yes, it does, like, with the icons, if you open up, my computer, all of these icons and everything, they've done a very good job at mimicking Windows, and that's essentially what the OS is supposed to do. You'll see that we have the same, like, C:/ style file structure up here, which is very nice. And even one of the nice things is that the Windows commands, they actually still work. So if I, for example, open run here and I type in WinVer, it will actually open up the ReactOS about screen, and it will tell me information about the OS. If I go here and open up, I think if I do Windows key R, it'll open up, and if I do CMD, it'll open up the well, it's called the ReactOS console, but it's also referred to as the command prompt. It kind of has two different names. As you'll see here, it says ReactOS command prompt, but if you go into, like, there's somewhere in here where it says console. I think it's in settings and control panel. It says console right here. So, and properties for ReactOS console. So it kind of is like, referred to by two different things. Console is kind of a, Linux and Unix term. So that may have been, called that for whatever reason. System, here is where it tells you information about your system. So it says the ReactOS operating system version 041 RC1. Let me get this up because I always forget to do this when I first boot up a OS, and I'm in 640 by 480 for the whole video, which is great. So yeah, what you'll notice is there is no default web browser installed. We do have a few Windows-like applications. We have a few games, which is nice. Under entertainment, and where was it? There were games right here. We have 3 games: Solitaire, Spider Solitaire, and Wine Mine, which is basically Minesweeper. But there is no web browser, which is kind of odd, at least I thought, because even Windows comes with Internet Explorer. Obviously, they can't put Internet Explorer in here, but I was thinking there would be like Firefox, like most Linux distros do. Is they put Firefox as kind of like a bundle. But one of the things that is nice about this is this right here, the ReactOS Applications Manager. If you've ever used, I think most distributions of Linux have this, and I know that Ubuntu does for a fact, and even Zorin does, because it's obviously based off of Ubuntu. But this is sort of like the Ubuntu Software Center, where it's kind of like an app store where you can go and download programs. And Windows even has this now in the Windows Store. But they don't have I don't think there's Firefox, at least like the desktop version of Firefox and Chrome. I don't think those are in there. I think like the tablet versions of them are. But see right here, what we can do if I just want to download, say, Firefox. I can go to the Internet and Network tab here, and it'll download everything. And I just go to Mozilla Firefox 45. For some reason, there's 3 versions. There's even 3.6, which is odd. I just double click on this, and it starts to download it from the Mozilla FTP server, which is nice. And this is, as you can see, the Win32 version of Mozilla Firefox, and we're going to see if it runs. Obviously it probably will, because it's in the application store here. But yeah, this is going to be our first Windows native program, or third party Windows native program that is going to be working on here, and this is already very cool. I'm going to be trying to download a few games and things like that. Obviously everything isn't really going to work, but I'm just going to be seeing if what works and what doesn't. Obviously I don't want to make this video too long. I may have to split it up into 2 separate parts. But let's just download Firefox here. So yeah, here we go. We are running Firefox on or the Windows version of Firefox on Windows, and there already is not on Windows, on ReactOS, and there already is an update, because 45 is not the latest version, but that was the one in the App Store. So let's just go to my YouTube channel here. So yeah, you can I guess browse the web. It's gonna work fine because it's Firefox. Here is one of my videos. Sound doesn't work yet because I need to install VMware Tools, which I'm gonna do now. But you'll see that here it is. Okay, so now we're gonna be moving into actually trying out some Windows native programs on ReactOS. Now I did actually in a previous take of this, I did try to install a few programs. One of those was SimCity 3000, which I actually have in this folder right here. I tried to get this to run, and in the first take, what happened was it's would just freeze the entire operating system, and then when I kind of restarted it, it had actually deleted some files from this folder here. I think all these files were gone except for these 3 up here in this one folder, and in this folder there wasn't really much. Actually, there's nothing in here now, so I think that it may have wiped some files again. But now it just doesn't run because it says error bad exe format. So for some reason, SimCity 3000, maybe this is just the copy I have, it doesn't work. But when I was kind of looking up on the actual website, somebody had tested this same game and it worked for them. So this might just be the copy I have, or it might just be a bug with this version of ReactOS. But again, not every Windows exe is going to work. But I did try a few other programs such as Microsoft Office 2000 and Microsoft Plus for Windows XP, and none of them worked either. And I did want to try a few programs just to get some of them working, to kind of show you guys that Windows programs do work on this. So I did download some that I think will work, and that is a VLC Media Player and OpenOffice. And I do also have a few other programs that we're going to be trying after these. But let's just get started with these right here. So we're going to start off with VLC. This is version 2.2.3 Win32. So this is obviously the Windows version of VLC, and it is opening here fine. So this is working. I believe this was listed on the site. At least I think it was that it was tested, but of course SimCity said it wasn't. It didn't work. So I think it just kind of depends on what version of the operating system that you are actually using. So we're just going to go with these options here. We're going to install it to the default directory, and now we're going to run VLC Media Player and see if this actually works. And it looks like it does. We will allow this access here. So let's see if it can actually play some exe files, or not exe files. Let me actually I don't have any local videos on here, so let me just actually go to YouTube and paste one of my video URLs in here. Yeah, you can see that it is playing this video perfectly fine. This is over the network. It's not letting me scrub through it, or it's just being very slow. This is the actual program being this way. This is not the stream, because it's not normally like this. So this might be just some bugs. Something that I was reading from the ReactOS wiki page is that the sort of ultimate goal for this operating system is the developers of this, they want you to be able to uninstall Microsoft Windows from your computer and install ReactOS, and they want you to kind of not notice any difference in it at all. And that's kind of their ultimate goal, pretty much, moving forward with this. So they kind of want it to be a sort of seamless, transition, that all of your programs, all of your Windows programs would still work normally, and everything like that. And that is still something that definitely needs a lot of work. But we have a lot of core programs like VLC, and I'm sure some of these other programs that we're going to try, they will hopefully work, and all of the programs that are bundled with it, as well as all the ones in the ReactOS store, or the software center, they work. So there are a lot of programs that they have been able to work natively, or they have been able to get working natively with this operating system, which is very nice. But again, this is still in alpha, and it is still a long development process. So we can't really sort of judge it as the way that it is now, because it's not feature complete yet. But VLC does work here. This is actually streaming this from my YouTube channel, so that is nice. I would assume it would play local files perfectly fine. But let's move on to OpenOffice here and see if this works. Okay, so it looks like it's going to run the installer, so we'll just go through this. We have to, I guess, extract the installation files. So it's going to unpack the cab file here. And here we go. Welcome to the installation wizard for OpenOffice 4.1.2. So we're going to go through this, and it has my name already in there. So we're going to do a just typical installation, should be fine. We will create a start link on the desktop. This is again the Windows version of Apache OpenOffice, and I believe it mentions something about OpenOffice working. We are going to try Microsoft Office 2007. Not OpenOffice, but Office 2000 was not able to work because it was saying that you need to install Microsoft Windows 2000. So I'm just kind of curious to see if Microsoft Office 2007 will work. Which it may not, but let's just see here. But this is OpenOffice is a very good open source Office suite. So if you wanted to use this OS and you had to get a core Office suite, OpenOffice is a very good choice. So we'll just run this here, and we'll see if it works. So the task manager here looks similar to Windows. We have our process view and performance. We have our CPU chart. Okay, here we go. So it just took a while. We have to register OpenOffice. Okay, so this is working. So we'll do a text document, and yeah, for some reason there's no insertion point, which is really weird, and that's kind of the same way with the You know, like hourglass cursor, like that doesn't show up either. Like you can't tell where my cursor is on the screen, but it's all the way over there. And if I, you know, press enter, you know, now it's down there, and you can't really tell that. I'm not really sure why that is. That might be a bug, so that might, you know, annoy people that are, actually it probably would annoy people that are using this, because, you know, you can't tell where your cursor is. And it just crashed apparently. Okay. So yeah, it does work, but it is fairly buggy. But again, this is only alpha, so and I guess is it gonna freeze like that every time it opens? Because that's, I would hope not. But now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna try 2 more Windows native programs. We're gonna start out with Office 2007. This is the probably the newest, or well, not, you know, not the newest, but this is a, like, you know, official Microsoft program. I don't know why I'm going into the Manage tab. Okay, well, you can see here it's doing the document recovery, which is nice. I just have to mount this ISO here. One of the things that I should mention is that there is no auto run feature, so when you put a CD into your computer, you have to go into the My Computer icon and, you know, manually run it from there. But that's probably a feature that they're still working on. We'll just do, where's like the whole suite, Professional Plus, I think. Okay, so I wasn't able to find my Office product key, but it was able to let me go through with the setup. But I think it's going to be like, you know, a, you know, sort of trial version. So we're going to go through and hit install now, and so let's see if this actually works. This looks more promising than Office 2000, which gave us like an instant error. So let's see if this actually works. Okay, so it's just finished the installation for Office 2007, so we're going to click on close and see if, so let's just try to launch Microsoft Word here. So we get the Office folder and do Microsoft Word, and yeah, as you can see, it is working. And so yeah, it's going to ask me for my product key, but I think if we close out of that, it should give me like a trial or whatever. Sure, don't want Microsoft Update. Okay, so it is actually working. In this one, you can actually see where you're typing, which is nice. Let me just zoom in so it gets centered. So there we go. So yeah, Microsoft Office Word works, or at least the 2007 version of Office works on ReactOS. I can't even type in here now. There, it's just laggy. Yeah, it can be really laggy at times. Like, it takes a while to, you know, catch up. But it does work. So I'm just gonna close out of that. See if I can press Alt F4. No. All right. Gonna kill the process. Oh wait, there we go. No. But yeah, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for ReactOS. Again, this was a very interesting operating system. I have not really done anything like this that has mimicked Windows so well that it can actually run exe programs natively. But if you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, definitely be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to, you know, consider supporting the you know, channel simply by shopping on Amazon. You can use my Amazon affiliate code. That link is down below in the video description, and all profits that I make from any, you know, transaction that you make through Amazon will go back into, you know, making videos for this channel, and, you know, investing in things like better video equipment and getting things like, you know, like a video capture card like I was talking about in this video. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely, you know, check that out. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.